Well, hello everybody joining us once again on YouTube. This is the beginning of part 3 of our first stream. And yeah, we're stable-ish. I have just got to notice how our food is very much starting to plummet. We do have lots of kohlrabies ready to pick, so we do in fact need more farmers before we extend our fields. And I think I'm going to try and do this by being a little bit cheeky. Build a set of stairs there. Multiple-point also realized you can be paused and actually removed. That guy can go. We're also going to go and we'll sort out our food first. We're going to build another forester here and make this into a little pine forest ready for pine resin extraction. For now, let's go and sort this out. We are going to need another farmhouse. It is going to continue to be kohlrabies. And then I'm not going to go and put kohlrabies down for plantation yet, because these guys will stop gathering and they'll start harvesting because that is priority. There you go. If we put those down, however, now they'll all quickly do all the planting and then they'll all go back to gathering. Let's probably get another line going down there. Okay. Yep, our kohlrabi production and harvesting and gathering and etc. needs to very much go up. I also am going to let's unpause both of my berry gatherers and get a nice bit of a boost of berries coming in. I think it's also potentially time that this guy got unpaused as well. And very shortly he shall be followed by the forester, also getting unpaused. And so like I said, the next thing I want to go and do is I'm going to stick a forester down here. No, not a set of stairs. Because of this little patch of water, this stays... Whoops, wrong button. And so we want a whole set of pine in here. And what we actually need to do as well is need to remove a couple of resources, mark them for demolition. So I can, in essence. Too far from a building or district. That's highly annoying. Whoops, wrong button again. Go and put that down into there just so we can get to these. And then let's go and remove that. And then come in with the pine trees. Once again. We'll put the Tapper's Shack, if I remember that name correctly, in there. And we did remove, yes, the tree cutting area from up there. Go and mark this. Well, just a little bit of tidy up. Okay. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We are... Let's go and unpause you. Let's get these planted. They obviously take, I think, about 12 days to grow for a pine. And then, of course, they'll take a little while to start producing sap. So, I mean, we've got some time on those anyway. Let's go and unpause you. You can start chasing around after him. It is, of course, leaving us 2 beavers short, but that's not a problem. We've got plenty of water. Go ahead and pause you as well. We've got 3.5 days left on the drought. And our kohlrabis are turning around. Let's go and pause you. Pause you, because our berries are now full. Although they are now about to start be eaten as a food source. Did he finish grinding his teeth? Or do we now currently have a beaver with broken teeth? No, he got it. And we are up to 21 working beavers and 4 kits, which is fantastic. We go planting the pine trees. Is it 12 days? Yes, 12 days to grow. So yes, we may as well at least get those on the go. It almost looks like we could even get another farmhouse in here. Although, of course, we could, in fact, just try and increase their well-being. Because not only does that make them more efficient, if I get to a 12, I think is a good number, yes. We get 10% more on speed and working efficiency. Yes, a beautiful extra 7 well-being, I think is, well, quite frankly, a fantastic thing to look at right now. And so how can we do that very easily? Let's have a look at... I apologize. No, good. We're not going to follow him. I like that. So wet fur is a nice +1. All the food is a little bit more difficult. Of course, we can start adding things like shrubs and lanterns, roof braziers, beaver bust. They will give a nice +1. Labor monument gives us a wonderful +3. It does cost, however, 1,000 science, so that's probably not going to happen for a while. Detailer, scratcher, swimming pool will give a nice +1. Exercise plaza is +3. So yeah, it's actually... all of them are going to take a fair bit of effort, unfortunately. Shrubs and lanterns. Could happen. Decorations. Putting a cheeky little lantern behind here. Gets both buildings. Oh, that's a bit far out of the way. And although we do have some beavers also living down here, you know, that covers us quite nicely. Shrubs as well. Same area of effect. We got rooftops, braziers. Oh, braziers are a nice bit bigger. They do, however, cost us some metal, so probably not in the works too much. Oh, no, look, maybe I don't need a third farm either, or too much improvement. We are actually catching up what we're planting with. Might actually be doing just okay. I think it's just we'd had a big patch be ripen up all at the same time. Okay, and I think what we can potentially now look at, let's grab a couple of scavengers and start getting us our scrap metal. Let us turn you on. I know he can't actually pump anything yet because we are going to wait for the water to come down, but it will turn up momentarily and then I can just ignore it and concentrate on other things. Okay, so we are getting our scrap metal in. That is our next stage. And you can go offline. Tapper's shack. Very much buildable at this point. But not quite yet necessary. Will cost us 500 science? Yes, a whole 500 science. I think... wow, you have completely chopped down everything, huh? then you can be rearranged and go work somewhere else. Rearranged sounds like I've just gone and beaten him up and, like, messed his face. You need to reflood. You need to remember to keep opening and closing that. And yeah, just kind of happy to have things keep moving along. Scrap metal's coming in. I don't realize about that. What does this cost me? Ooh, treated planks. How much are we going to lose? We are losing a lot more than I'd like, quite frankly. I think that's about as far as it's going to go. Okay, well, that's highly annoying. And I could obviously attempt to levy off a bigger section and push it back a couple of spaces. Bit of an extreme push on things. And I think I am going to have to open up another lumberjack area. Go and put that in there. And then, of course, mark the trees for cutting, because without marking the trees for cutting, whew, nothing quite like a good sneeze, eh, folks? Oh, I'll tell you what, when it takes you by surprise. And then let's follow this as well. What is quite... Yep, we've gone and covered his range. Almost. Those guys as well. So he'll chop all of those down. Okay, and the smelter is pretty much ready to come online. Pause him. And pause him. Because we are not actually filling up our water quite at this point. And then we are going to go and get more water storage. Let's keep increasing the amount of water we can supply. Our kohlrabies are making a comeback. Yes, we do need to sort this out somewhat. There are a couple of methods of how we can do that. We'll start potentially working towards them. Like I said, I could just go and, in essence, kind of try and block off bad water from further down. That is a pretty log-heavy solution, though. And it does, however, all fall off here. Well, I could also attempt to block it here. It's a much lighter solution, and I don't think it'll particularly cause too many problems. And what that would do as... No, like the water comes into here. I could, in essence, block that off, which I think I'm going to go and do. Let's clean this up a little bit. We, of course, do need to path this out. Which I can't actually go and do because there are many berry bushes in the way. There is zero path to the berries. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to destroy some perfectly good berries just to get myself through. And that will... It's going to go and clean all of this up, basically. Push back all of this corruption. Make this cleaner. And there's nothing hitting in here, is there? No. Let's go and get that going through. How much that cost? 4,000 science. That might be a little way off. Of course, our next thing, not our next thing, one of the things we would love to get is our number cruncher. That does cost metal, so we do, of course, need to get our metal industry online first. It does cost me 500 horsepower as well. We have, of course, we have the furnace available when it comes to power. Also, the engine is all the way down here. That does cost, like, that does provide me with 400 horsepower. What we can do, of course, for that is... So that creeps back. We can go and plant those again. We're going to make it so this never comes back at all. This will eventually dry out as well. What are we up to? 10 days of drought. That's fine. Let us go and... pause a couple of these. Let's have that put up to maximum to hold this water in. And we now have 3 beavers looking for work. Let's go and put 2 in there very easily to begin with. And why don't we go and gather some more berries? And looking at where this falls down and comes in to here. Wait, does it? No, this falls down, cascades along. Ah, yes, this is the path where this joins in to here. That's fine. So this is, in essence, a dry area. This bit I've got my mouse over. But if we unblock this, we could have this coming up to here with an outlet, and then we can cover this in water wheels as a future power source, because obviously we can make this so it's permanently open. Say this, there it is. We can make that bad water source so it's permanently open. We can get some power coming off here. Other bad water source is... where did we go and hide ourselves? Oh, we've got 2 in here. We could go and do a similar thing with those. Could... I don't know, I feel like we could make a nice little horseshoe here of aqueduct. Potentially have it come straight off here, join onto these 2, and then come off the map. Although we would have to do some kind of bad water storage, so to say. Which wouldn't be too much of a problem, because our bad water pumps do reach 6 deep. And of course, with our new tube weight possibilities, you know, getting up to, say, maybe a storage area here before it then came off the map wouldn't be too difficult. So yeah, that's all perfectly possible. All perfectly possible. Anyway, we do have some beavers with problems. What is it? Oh, we have injured beavers. We have gone on to the next stage of well-being necessity. We need some medical beds. Now, where do we go and sneak these in? We've got one right in here. Stick another one right in here. Very much put them where you can fit them kind of a mentality. Because, again, like as I said earlier, it's not pretty, folks. But it is working. It is working 100%. We're going to go now and squeeze in our melter. That is going to require another worker on the hand-powered pump. And it's actually not going to be quite enough to keep things going. But we will be producing things at an okay rate. So I'm going to very happily leave it as it's going to be. Good, we only take 1 worker in the smelter. That makes me very happy. So let's keep the guys here building. I'll drop this down to 2 once we have our smelter, so that we have the right amount of workers in the right place, basically. think we're going to go ahead and pause you now as well. Okay, but we do need to think very much of a future plan. We're going to be getting now metal online. Now, we don't have access to dynamite because we don't quite yet have access to bad water. Having chopped this off as well, I've very much gone and decreased my kind of access to bad water as well as it is. That's okay. That is okay. We will very much... Oh, our pine forest is coming online. It's another 7 days for us to actually get the resin coming out. That's not a problem. Okay. Like I said, I think it's time for us, like I said, start doing a bit of future planning. We've now got metal starting to come online. And multiple point, one thing we do need to quickly go and do is... build some metal storage. And this stuff just gets uglier and uglier as time goes by. Because I am fitting things into whatever gap I can squeeze them in. Okay, and with that metal storage ready to be built. Like I said, I think it's time to start planning forward. Like I said, we don't have access to dynamite, so we're not going to be blowing anything up. But we can start tidying things up and looking at getting things like tubeways. A fast, if cramped, means of beaver transportation. Solid, other buildings can be built on its top. So I assume you need that to build tubeways going up. I've never actually played with the tubeways before. I assume this can go left and right, but when you want to start building tubeways going up, you have to have the solid. Okay. So that is mostly what we're going to be using, to be honest. I mean, we will, of course, then go and use a tubeway as well, but... need to very much start looking at what we can do. And so... we will then eventually need access to things like our platforms. That takes a lot of metal. Our overhangs takes a fair bit of metal, takes a lot of resources, though. Multiple takes a lot of science. And so maybe one of the next things we do need to get online is a number cruncher. Just to really give us access to our future build capabilities. Which, unfortunately, if we go for another... I mean, that only gives me 300. This takes 400? 500! And we are already short in the network anyway. Yes, it wouldn't be running at full efficiency, but even then it would be running pretty well. We could, of course, because we do quite often have extra beavers, we could, of course, go and build some more inventors. I mean, that isn't too much of a problem. Let us go and... get a couple of extra inventors. Let us... their priority on lower as well. Because again, if we simply have extra beavers lying around, they can come and help get me more science, because science... all science is key. Hydroponic garden and a fermenter. I mean, hydroponic garden does take a lot of water. However, it will help me with my... I'm going to say food problem, because I think it's their problem at this stage. Yes, we do need to decide what comes next. So I'm going to pause a second. So I can, in fact, no, I'm not going to pause. You can just keep going in the background. So I can have a think about this. Obviously, tube waves would be fantastic. That would allow us to start going vertical. However, to go vertical, we also need things like metal platforms. Well, I say no. That is only really if we want to have a platform thing kind of on the go. We can very much start going vertical in terms of other things. However, also very much to go vertical and start doing it how I'm thinking, with obviously things like dirt, etc. on the top. We do, however, need dirt. So any form of verticality we really want to push is very much going to take some form of dirt, basically. So let's think about this. I mean, we do basically need to expand, but like I said, we also need to very much go vertical. Oh, that can just be put down to 0, ready for when the flood ends. These are all going to die. Oh, 1.1, yeah, they'll die. We're not going to get water in that fast. And we have actually ran out of kohlrabies. We do definitely need a second source of food. A hydroponic garden, very buildable, very much resourceable. It does take a lot of water. Which makes me think, let's get more water storage online. And we really need to push the water storage when we can. How much does this? Wrong button. Takes away 20 of my gears. This will cost me only 10. That's fine. Question is, right, where do we put it? Let's start trying to plan things out and build a little bit nicer. Go and place that there. Right, no, I'm lying. I don't like that where it is. So we've got, this is a dedicated pine forest area. We have a dedicated forestry and area up here. This area can definitely be used for things. We have more berry patch, which I would like to keep. I might just set it so it doesn't naturally expand. Now, nobody's going to come and do any more planting on this, but it won't naturally expand on its own now. Mark these resources for demolition. We reach the furthest one, we can. All of those will be removed. Right, and then we're going to start to use this area for hydroponic farming. Okay. Back to the food. And I would like... Yes, simply mushrooms. We don't have to have canola oil. I'm going to leave a slight gap there. So in fact, let's continue to think about this. So our tube station is something we are going to want to go and get. Our tube station will... Although, no, I don't really want a tube station entrance here, if I'm perfectly honest. Do I? Yes, I probably do, actually. What I think I would like is probably more one here. And then This will in essence go up with platforms and other such things. And so with that being there, let's go ahead, not an oil press, hydroponic farm. So that'll be 2 deep. That'll be 3 deep because of its thing. Let's put this one back off the path. And let's go ahead, have that up. That is going to be for mushrooms. And of course we are going to need a fermenter. This is going to be for beautiful, beautiful water. And very soon all of my water pumps are going to be turned on to fill my tanks. Got those 2 going already. Wow, there are actually 5 places missing people, missing jobs. 5 workplaces without beavers. These guys all working. You working as well. 10 places missing jobs. Right, 8 of them are of course my inventors. That leaves me with 2 people missing jobs. We're gonna go and take 1 person off you. 2 people off you. Okay, and so you're going to be slowly producing me some mushrooms. Now, however, what we are going to need to further the mushroom production is a fermenter. This does cost me 50 horsepower. And so we'll very much need another power wheel. I mean, ideally, I would like to put a power wheel in to join into all of this. And that just makes sense for me. Well, it makes sense for now in our current mess of a setup. This only needs 2 workers for now, I would say. Joined into the network. Oh, good old beaver power being used. Okay, I think we have roughly evened out in terms of the number of beavers we have. You can... No, not be deleted. You can very much be paused, though. We're missing 5 workers. That's fine, as long as we don't go above 8, which is our... just to be our inventors. As they purely are there to... I really wish we could put this in days. 24 hours to a day, 48.96. Doubling that is 192, so 8 days, basically. That to come to fruition. Fermented mushrooms. And then we will need more storage. Got slight verticality in our storage. Light storage basically coming up. You guys are all going to be taking this down. Yes, you'll need moving shortly. We actually have our first bad tide approaching. Wow, would you look at that? All of this is going to die. Okay then. How's this doing? There you go. We've nicely gone and blocked that off. That is no longer a problem. that will eventually dry out and disappear. Fantastic. Like I said, no, this is all going to turn into bad tide. Yep, all of this is... Ah, man, all of this forest is going to be no more. That's absolutely heartbreaking. And this forest is doing beautifully, more to the point. At least it was. That it's now all about to, unfortunately, go and be no more. I'm going to go and put another lumberjack camp right in there. This is already... and half of this is going to die as well. In fact, pretty much all of that's going to die. Fantastic. Fantastic. So I guess we have a slight bad water problem, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very slight bad water problem. Where'd you go? Come finish your building. Oh, no, wait, you need 2 more planks. Okay. So we are smelting away. There you go. We now have network supply demand. Because... oh, no available workers. Well, and you also have no available workers. Oh, we're down to 12. Don't have anybody injured. We've just we've lost a couple. And like I said, we've kind of come to what is our limit on number of workers we have. That's fine. We obviously can't take any off kohlrabis because those are massively struggling. Let us go and I'm gonna unpause you 2 as well, but then you don't have any workers either. Bring you down to 1. You can drop down to 1. Well, then. Once the bad tide hits, of course, we'll turn off most of our pumps. So, gonna help out massively. I'll actually go and pause you. Got 1 worker missing. Hey, the berries are being gathered. Is that you? Yep, that's fine. You can be missing for now. Can't believe I've done all of this great work and it's all actually about to be for naught because we're all unfortunately about to die. That's a bit of an unfortunate way for things to end, isn't it? Yeah, look at those kohlrabis go down. A lot of hungry beavers out there. Still waiting for this to evaporate. Whoa, ho. Full height, please. Okay, so there's the start. Wow, look how fast this came down. There's the start of a bad tide. It's also come down and started here now, and it's almost finished coming across here as well. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave it there. Now, if I was to attempt to build something here, I think it would probably just flood over. I think I do need to build it 1 further down. And that wouldn't be a fantastic solution because obviously all of this, for instance, my forestry area is kind of a little bit buggered. Kind of a little bit buggered. We need to get up here, start building some sluices, and push the bad water all off down in this direction. Again, still wouldn't be well, I would say it wouldn't be fantastic. This forest might die, but forest is not currently critical to my operations. And would also be a massive and amazing part of my future power industry. That basically means every time we get a bad tide, we can plug that into here, which will eventually come off this way. The water wheels will in fact go faster. Any water wheels we would have on this off stretch. I think I can naturally fit. Yes, we can naturally fit some large water wheels in here. It's very hard. There you go. Very hard to kind of see. We, of course, do need to build higher walls, etc. We can go and get a whole set of large water wheels across here. And keep things going very, very beautifully. I think that might be something I attempt to start doing in the next episode. I mean, hopefully our food is going to start to sort itself out. We do now have some mushrooms on the go. Hopefully they can start pushing themselves forward. But that is the end of this episode and the end of the stream. Thank you to everyone who has joined me. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you will come back next time where I truly attempt to see what we can do. Like I said, it's not gone fantastically, if I'm perfectly honest. It's definitely could have gone better. But as I said, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go and leave it there. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you will come back and join me next time for further playthroughs on New Dam, where we have some problems to fix. We definitely have some problems to fix. And so until then, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed it, and until we see you again, I hope that you will stay safe, happy, and healthy.